Valentine's Day, 1974. A gun to his face. A girl begging, "Stop hitting him. I'll go with you." That decision saved one life
I'll go with you.
and launched a 46-year hunt for a killer. Fort Worth, Texas was quiet. The kind of quiet where families knew each other, where teenagers went to school dances, where Valentine's Day meant flowers, slow dances, and first love. No one imagined it would become the beginning of a nightmare that would last nearly half a century. Carla Walker was 17 years old, beautiful, smart, kind, the kind of girl everyone liked. That Valentine's night, she went out with her high school sweetheart, Rodney McCoy. Rodney had been planning this night for months, not just a date, a promise. He gave Carla a ring, a small rose with a diamond in the center, a symbol that said, "I'm here, I'm yours, I won't leave." Carla smiled. She accepted. They went to the school dance, danced all night, laughed with friends. It was perfect, until it wasn't. After the dance, they parked to be alone. Teenagers, in love, harmless. Then a car door opened. A dark silhouette stood there, a man holding a gun. Rodney didn't even have time to react. The man smashed the gun into his face again and again, blood everywhere. Rodney never saw his face. Carla screamed for him to stop. She begged. When the gun jammed and the man began clearing it, preparing to shoot, Carla made a choice that would save Rodney's life. She said, "Stop hitting him. I'll go with you."
Stop
And she did.
hitting him. I'll go with you.
That same night, Carla's 12-year-old brother, Jim Walker, was asleep on the couch. Then he heard screeching tires, a car hitting the curb, a voice yelling outside. "Not for 46
Mr. Walker!
years."
Mr.
Police arrived.
Walker!
Then the FBI. Rodney became the main suspect. Everyone suspected him. Everyone except Carla's family. They took him into their home, let him sleep in Carla's bed. That's how much they trusted him. 3 days later, a detective remembered another girl, another body, another tunnel. They searched cattle coverts scattered across the countryside. And then Jim heard his mother scream, a scream he would later call the death scream. They found Carla, murdered. At the funeral, more than 1,000 people came. Rodney stood with the Walkers while whispers followed him. Then he walked up to the casket and froze. The ring was gone. The promise ring he gave her, gone. Rodney collapsed to his knees. Soon after graduation, he left Fort Worth forever, moved to Alaska, carried guilt that never loosened its grip.
Jim wasn't grieving. He was angry. He slept inside the culvert where Carla's body had been found, waiting, hoping her killer would return. He wanted to know what she felt,
did she
what she
feel?
smelled, whether she was alive. He wanted justice. He applied to the police academy. He was accepted. Then his vision began to fail, a rare genetic condition, irreversible. Jim was going blind. His dream of becoming a detective died. Years passed. His siblings left Fort Worth. His father died believing he failed his daughter. His mother died of heartbreak. By 2020, Jim was alone, but he never stopped calling the
I
police.
need your help with a critical
Every
case.
year,
It's urgent.
one case, only one. On the other end of one of those calls was Detective Leah Wagner, a cold case investigator, a mother. When she saw what happened to Carla, something clicked. She reopened the case, 46 years later. They re-examined everything. And then, DNA from Carla's bra, a full male profile, tiny, fragile, risky. They took a chance, and the gamble worked. The
We're
DNA
here
had a
about
name,
Carla Walker.
Glenn McCurley, a man questioned in 1974, a man who passed a polygraph, a man.
When detectives went to his house, he joked at first. Then his tone changed. When he tried to build an alibi, his wife corrected him, again and again. That night, detectives searched his trash.
We'll be in
They
touch.
found the McDonald's straw. DNA matched. On September 21st, 2020, Glenn McCurley was arrested. During interrogation, detectives told him plainly, "Your DNA was found with Carla." He cracked. But when asked where he left her body, his directions didn't match. That terrified investigators, because it meant something worse. Carla wasn't alone. Valentine's Day murders, women, girls, unsolved, for decades. Jim felt something unexpected. Not rage, compassion. He said, By forgiving, evil has no control over my spirit. Meanwhile, McCurley's own son begged his father to confess, for other families, for peace. But when he looked into his father's eyes, there was nothing. August 19th, 2021, 47 years after Carla's murder, the trial began. Rodney McCurley returned to Fort Worth. The courtroom fell silent after his testimony. Jim noticed the McCurley family nearby. He did something unthinkable. He comforted the killer's son, sat with him, loved him. Victims and survivors together. Then something changed. Glenn McCurley whispered to his lawyer. Court adjourned. Before the third day of trial, Glenn McCurley pled guilty, life in prison. After nearly 50 years, justice finally arrived. Jim and Detective Wagner gave Rodney something unexpected. The promise ring. Glenn McCurley, now called the Valentine's Day Killer, is suspected of killing up to 7 women. But Carla's case changed everything. A law now bears her name, the Carla Walker Act, funding DNA technology, solving cold cases, saving families. Jim says, we lost Carla, but because of her, we'll save others. And maybe, just maybe, she knows they never gave up.
If this story moved you, share it, because justice doesn't die with time, and neither should the truth.